Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham daily news and update show, the WREXfast Club, for Thursday, November 21st. Yes, we are almost to the weekend. We're almost there. And it is a morning show today because it is the WREXfast Club, but that is kind of universal because we did it in the afternoon yesterday. So how's everyone doing today? Got some things we want to talk about. Got the little update on JJ and George Evans. This came out a little later yesterday, so we're going to talk about that. Also, snow day. Also, some players are playing in some weather that's probably not suitable for their knees. But we'll see what's going to happen with the snow. We're getting okay. Also, who's going to replace Rathbone in the middle? Sorry, who's going to? I just gave it away. Who I think is going to happen? Who's going to replace Andy Cannon in the middle of the park for this weekend's game, and will the game actually go on? And there's some youngsters that have been training with the team this week, so we're going to talk about that. Hope everyone is having a great Thursday too. And I'm going to give Glenda Bursey is on an absolute tear, just making Drew just a knee number. It's over. You're done. What is going on there? I don't know why those are so big. What's happening here? Why is the branding so big? What happened? Oh, I don't know. I think they updated. I think they updated YouTube. I mean, not that I don't want to see all your faces, but that is aggressive. Those are aggressive. Let me see if I could change that. Is that too big for everybody? For the holy God, I didn't know that was going to do that. I'll have to fix that later. But right now, look at how big the branding is. That is insane. Sorry. What up? What up? That is so. I can't even. That is so big. Did they update YouTube? It must have. Okay. Well, there we go. To use them sparingly. Anyway, smash a like on the video. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the Local Pundit, we are on our way to 50,001. We're also going to be starting a new show. A new channel too. We'll keep you updated on that as we go up. John Merrill's in the house. How you doing? Evening all. Now I can read it. I mean, that's good for people watching on their phones. That is true. It is really good. And that is so shocking how big it is. So the BSM trophy is not the Virtue Cup, the Virtue Trophy. It's the Joey Vagadonis Trophy. Yes. So everyone's in the house. Chicky Brewer's here. Glenda does get the W. Okay, let's get started here. We're going to talk about George Evans and James Jones first. As you see, Evans update. I didn't expect to see that today. I don't know what happened to this, but it is absolutely horrifying what happened to the. Sorry, I didn't know I was going to do this. Okay, so Evans update. Parkinson has one here for us. I can figure something out. BSM Hot Wheels Trophy. Yes, okay. Wrexham duo George Evans and James Jones are out injured. Yes, they have been. We knew about this. Obviously, when Evans went down, it was a blow. And I think because he's such a vital midfielder and a vital person we need on the pitch, someone that I would recommend would be starting over an Andy Cannon or an Elliott Lee. So that's just my opinion right there, because I think we need someone to step on the ball and play that string pulling role. So here's the update. Andy Cannon will miss Saturday's clash at Exeter at the racecourse ground because he got suspensions, his 5 yellow cards. Phil Parkinson hoped 2 midfielders are closing in on return to action. Now, will that be this weekend? Probably not. Cannon picked up his 5th yellow card in defeat against Stockport, and also is going to serve a 1-match ban. We have Ollie Rathbone and Matty James in contention to his place in the side. Who of those players do you want to see in the starting lineup? I'd like to see Rathbone in the starting lineup, but I also want to see Matty. So I'm a little bit torn, but I want to get everyone's thoughts in the chat. Let us know who you think will be starting, and who would you like to see starting. So which way is he going to go? Although Evans and Jones are still not available, Parkin says the duo are making good progress along with striker Stephen Fletcher. Now, I had said yesterday that Fletcher may not be coming back. I'm probably going to eat those words. There we go. Evans damaged ankle ligaments, 1-0 defeat against Stevenage October 1st. That is, it's almost 2 months ago now. Okay, James and George are going to be back up and running this week on the snow, said Red's boss. George is progressing well, but it's difficult to say when he will be back. So he's not going to rush them back. He just said he's doing well and progressing, but he doesn't know when he'll be back. Kevin Mulholland is just waiting to see how he reacts with his work this week, and the same with James. Kevin Mulholland will have those two back in close contention for the next few weeks, and hopefully the same with Fletch. So let's call it what it is. Let's call it Christmas. All right. Let's say possibly Christmas. So we'll see. He wants to see Rathbone, Furry, and Lee. Okay. Is that Fury or Furry? Let me know what you think. Paul, the Wrexham fan, what's going on? Where are you? Good to see you. So that's who he wants to think. He wants to see Rathbone, Furry, and Lee. Okay, that's a good shout right there. And what's going on right there? This is at the end. Win a signed Wrexham shirt. With Fletcher absent, the top scorer Jack Marriott out until at least February after the breaking a leg in training last month. John Daddy Budvartson and Ollie Palmer were paired in attack at Stockport. But Budvartson was handed his first league start from Wrexham. Explain why striker Paul Mullen was named to the bench as a substitute. Here we go. Getting updates as we go here. I just felt it was right to go with Budvartson, he added. I have got to protect him a little bit because he's having his preseason within a season. I just thought I would freshen it up at the top of the pitch. Well done. The plan was to bring in Moles on when the game opened up a little bit to see if he could get that moment of quality, and he so nearly did when he was inches away from putting the ball in the back of putting the ball away after Elliot Lee's header. Now, got a two-parter there. We were talking about Evans coming back. We're talking about JJ, middle of the park. Who's going to be in the midfield there? Is it going to be? What is going on today with this? Is it going to be Rathbone? Is it going to be Matty James? So those are the two players he's going to go with. I think he'll probably go with Rathbone. Matty James hasn't had much time, but there's an article here that we're going to get to about him wanting to prove his spot and how he can play. I think he'll go with Rathbone, and then at some point Matty James will come on. I could be completely wrong, but that's my opinion and how Parkinson works. Now, moving on to some other things in that article, talking about the striker situation here. He started Budvartson over Mullen to see how he would do, given the opportunity. He's trying to get his fitness up. I think he played 65 minutes or whatever it is, but he will not drop Palmer. Obviously, I don't know if this game does happen on Saturday. Where the next 3 of the next 4 games are at home. I don't know if he'll go with Budvartson over Mullen 2 games in a row. So I would probably say he's going to go back to what he knows. It's going to be Palmer and Mullen up front. That's not what I would do, but there we go. If he's making the midfield change with Rathbone in there, you probably won't make the change up front, and I think the rest will be as you were for the rest of the team, minus Okonkwo with Colin Burton in the back. That's my thought. That's my thought. Rath equals Rathbone. Furry is Dubbo, not Furry. Fury. You're saying Fury, not Furry. Not furries, right? Not furries. Google that one out there. Sorry, Bruce. So that's what I think. That I'd like to see more of Budvartson, though. Just going back to that, I'd like to see more of Budvartson. But good news on George Evans and James Jones. Let's call that Christmas. Flat out, I'm going to say that's probably about right. Okay. Next one I'm going to get to here, in correlation to that, about the Matty James. The Matty James article here that was out yesterday that we didn't touch on, but I want to talk about it because it has to do with the midfield and this weekend. Now, Matty James, grateful to get his chance with Wrexham, he says. Matty James admits it was a shock being without a club into his 24-25 season, and is determined to make the most of his time with the opportunity at Wrexham. Now, we've only seen him for a little bit here and there. Maybe we'll see him more this weekend. I don't know. Product of Manchester United Academy, James left to Bristol City at the end of last season and was a free agent before arriving at the racecourse last month. A short-term deal until January. Now, I've said before, we only have these guys for a short amount of time. Let's at least see what they're going to do. You know, that's one thing. At least see how they're gonna play. There's an opportunity this weekend to do that, but because Gio's not ready to come back, and with Andy Cannon just not available, so there's an opportunity to do that. He's 33 years old, 104 appearances for Bristol City. There's something going on this today. Despite being a vastly experienced, James believes age was a barrier when it came to finding a new club before Phil Parkinson turned to him and provided a cover in the Reds midfield. And aim is now to try to impress, so he extends his stay in North Wales. Now, is he good enough that we don't want to go into the market in January for a better midfielder or a better striker or a combination of both? I don't know. It was a bit of a shock in the summer. How many games I played last year to not getting the club I wanted, or even an offer from Bristol City. In the first place. I think a lot of it's due to age, unfortunately, but there's not a lot I can do about that. Yeah, you can't change your age. The people running these clubs, it's their money and it's their club, but I kept working hard. Wow, it's being straight up forward. Leicester allowed me to train with them, so I was very thankful for them allowing me to do a preseason with them. Now, the aim is to give everyone a possible The aim is to give everything possible I can at Wrexham from now until the end of January, and let's see what happens. That's all he can do. He can only train hard, keep going. They're paying him to be there. He's not, without a club, which is great. I'm going to do that every single day. Give my all when I get on the pitch, and give 100%. We'll see where that takes me in January. So good for him. He says it's going really well. I'm very lucky to be given the opportunity. I want to see I think we should be given the opportunity to see how he can play too. Let's see what happens. It could be this weekend. It really could because Cannon is just not available. He says, I was thinking it was going to be January whether something would drop. Wrexham asked me to come in, and I was absolutely buzzing because they're at the top of the division, and everyone knows the ambition here. For me, it's about playing football, but having played as many games as I did in the championship, it's about something that is still excited with me and somewhere that wants to move forward. I think a lot of players who are playing for the championship clubs now would love to have the opportunity to come and play for Wrexham. It's an opportunity for me, and I'm going to try and grab it with both hands. He said something really profound there, that a lot of these players who are in the championship want to come down and play for Wrexham. It's not that far of a fall. It's only one down, and we're at the top of the division there. So that's good. You always want to be on the upswing. Okay, my mind says Parkinson's going to start Rathbone, but my heart would love to see Matty James get a start. How's that? There we go. What say you? I think that's a possibility that he's going to go with what he knows. I would love to see James on Tuesday. Dabo covers a lot of ground in the game. Yes, he does. He's doing the job of two people, for sure. John says, hey, Nick, how are things? So, okay, let's take that on, and we'll get out of here. Before we go to this one, I'll go to this one on this article. What is going on? Today is just one of those days where the internet and the things are not working. So it happens. Live show. Shoot the rehearsal, as we know. Phil Parkinson left frustrated as Wrexham suffer a major training disruption before the Exeter City clash. Yes, they have. Wrexham are set to take on Exeter City in League One on Saturday, November 23rd. That is in 48 hours. They're looking to have their get back on track. Wrexham fell to 1-0 defeat. We know that. Parkinson's men have now just won just 2 of the last 5 games, sipping down to the third. To make matters worse, second place Birmingham City have 2 games in hand, and the Welsh Alpha just 2 of the last 5 games, sipping down to the third. To make matters worse, second place Birmingham and the Welsh Alpha. What's going on? Just 2 of the last 5 games, sipping down to the third. Wow. Who hears the echo? Second place Birmingham and the Welsh Alpha. What's going on? Just 2 of the last 5 games, sipping down to the third. Wow. Who hears the echo? Second place Birmingham. I have no idea. I have no idea. Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here. I literally have 2 of me talking. I have no idea. This is awesome. I don't know what's going on here. I literally have 2 of me talking. This is amazing. I have no idea. Okay. Hold on a second. Awesome. I don't know what's going on here. I literally have. You hear an echo. So do I. I don't know why. It's amazing. I have no idea. Okay. Hold on a second. Awesome. I don't know what's going on here. I literally have. You hear an echo. So do I. I don't know why. All right. That might end it for today's festivities, but let me try to fix this real quick. You hear an echo. So do I. I think I figured it out. All right, there we go. How's that? Is that better? Okay, there we go. All right, I figured it out. What an absolute knobhead idiot today. This is just one of those days. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. But essentially, the article was basically saying, talking about that we have been disrupted because of the snow. Sorry about that, everybody. Shoot the rehearsal, and there you go. I think Kelly Davidson will love that. Yeah, so we haven't been on the pitch. There's been pictures of the boys training on the pitch on the side. There's still a lot of snow on there, and if you're going to build up a game at home, you want to be able to get out and stretch your legs. It looks like there's been a lot of work inside, doing some strength training and some fitness training, but not getting on the pitch and practicing is tough. There was a photo. There's a photo that was like, maybe about 30 by 40 feet of them training on the pitch, and they're still trying to get the still trying to get the snow. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but that is a major disruption when you're trying to plan for a game this weekend. It's a major disruption, so I'm not sure. And also, too, will the snow come back? I don't know. I'm not a weatherman, so we shall see. We'll keep an eye on that. All chances point to maybe, but it is a disruption for not going out there and be training. So, yeah. Thank you, Glenda. And hi, late to the broadcast. You missed a banger, Ruth. I've screwed up. I've touched buttons. I'm hearing echoes. There was 2 things open. It's an absolute terrible show. Terrible show. So there you go. Terrible show. Another example of why the club will eventually want their training ground. Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, this disruption for them to want to get out there, and it is winter. I mean, it is November. Well, it's not winter. It's like late autumn, I would say. But yeah, the guys want to get into the groove, and especially some of those players that haven't been playing with each other to try to get their time and a cadence up together. So that's been the disruption out there for Wrexham. So we shall see if the game will go forward, and we'll see if that does affect them going on the pitch this week. If the game does go on, which I hope it does, obviously. All right, one more here. This is a good one as well. Speaking of consistency, we are consistently inconsistent here at the local pundit, as you know. Wrexham must be more consistent through the whole game. Now, that's very, very true. So Parkinson's looking for greater consistency over the 90 minutes. There you go. Happy with his first half the other day, but he said we need to strive for that consistency throughout the game, which we didn't have on Saturday. He said against Mansfield, we had a lot of quality in the game, and in patches we played well, but the aim is to analyze what we can do better and put it into practice throughout the whole game and at the weekend. We need to perform better with the ball and without the ball. True statement right there. Both departments in that first 45 minutes against Stockport weren't where they needed to be. Second half, we got going, and we could have got back in the game, but sometimes when you're on the pitch and you can't quite get close to people, you need to look at that for the reason. Now, a consistent 90 minutes are there too. A consistent 90 minutes. When was the last consistent 90 minutes we put together? I mean, that's tough to say because, it's not like we're looking for, you don't need a consistent 90 minutes to win football games. And for us, it's about getting points on the board. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a little bit more quality. Everyone talks about Dobson giving a ball away, but he does work off the ball and break a play that is very, very good. But he's right. We do need a little bit of consistency. The team does feel a little bit disjointed. And now, so Kelly Davidson had touched base with me earlier today asking about Palmer, why, and this has something to do with, why does Palmer keep getting picked? What are we seeing? What is Parkinson and other people seeing that I'm not seeing? Not her, but, why do I not like him on the pitch? For me, it's about, I know what Parkinson sees in him. I think people will shape what they see in a player and how they play to fit whatever mold they want to move forward as a player. So for me, I think Parkinson sees someone who likes to partner up with Paul Mullen. I think he sees someone who works off the ball. He gets headers. His hold-up play is okay, but his job isn't scoring goals. And I think those are, let's say there's 5 things that a player should be doing. I think he does 3.5 of them that Parkinson likes to have on the pitch. So that's one of the reasons why. I know people stand by him for keeping Palmer in the game. But I personally believe that there's other players on the bench and in the team that can go out and do a better job. Maybe 3 or 4 other attributes rather than what Parkinson wants. But again, people shape and see things how they come. That said, about the consistency, there hasn't been a full consistent 90, and he does want more consistency out of the team. I think injuries have to do with that. I think the quality of the opponents and how they're coming out and playing us, and I think that sometimes we don't have a plan B. So when you're just kind of hammering home the same thing over and over again, a long ball, trying to put the ball into feet for a Palmer whose back is to play most of the time, and or losing a header, I think that does make us inconsistent because they know what to play for. They know how to game plan for that. So those are things right there. Buttons always get me in trouble. Yes, they do, Ruth H. And temperatures due to get warmer towards the end of the week, so it should be good. Okay, so that's a good sign right there. Old school managers like yours always tend to have favorites in the squad. Clearly, Palmer is one of those favorites. Absolutely true. That was my next thing. It's about, he trusts him. It's his favorites. I get it. And, other players aren't up to speed at where they want them to be. So those are really good shouts. Parky's target man has to disrupt defenders and create room for a striker partner. Wear down the defenders, the central defenders and contribute to the high press. Yes, that's one way. Those are the things that Parkinson wants. He's not looking at him as a goal scorer. If he gets a goal, great, but he's not looking at him as a goal scorer. So that's exactly why he plays Parkinson. Now, I don't know if that leads to the inconsistency in the article, but that's one thing that is possible. Parkinson went on to say, so far this season, we've been a very well-structured team. First of all, out of possession, and made it difficult for teams to play against us. But at times, in that first half, going back to the Stockport game, we had to admit it was too easy for Stockport to get control in the midfield area. Yes, we talked about it repeatedly. This has been this week's thing about it's not necessarily just a striker problem. It's our midfield problem. And we have good midfielders. I don't think our midfield is balanced enough. We did play off. We got ran off the park in the middle of the pitch. We did make some when Andy Cannon did come off and Rathbone came on. Now he's a relentless runner. I don't know if he's a scorer, but we did change up. And yes, they were laying off a little bit. They weren't Stockport weren't being aggressive. So the consistency that we need to have in the midfield probably needs to get better, which will lead to more goals. But we're surpassing that because we're booting the ball down into channels high, trying to have it get knocked down. That's something we need to get away from. But that is our style of play most of the time. That said, our defense is incredible. It has to be because we're not scoring goals. Our goalkeeping is incredible. And our wing play has been good on the right side, not on the left side. But because I think Barney's having a blinder of a season and Macca's having a okay season. He's not having a bad season, but he's relentless. He goes out there tirelessly himself. So we shall see. It's about consistency. And if we can get some consistency back into it, we did that toward the end of the season when Stash and Evans came back in. That's why I'm hoping sooner or later, maybe Evans gets back in that lineup when he gets better, or it's a Matty James, or it's somebody else that maybe we do some work in the January transfer window. So let's keep an eye on that. But consistency, the consistency is where we need to be. Okay, let me see here. No, that's not what I want to do. What's wrong today? Okay. Looking at this weekend, it's about getting back to a strong performance without the ball. Improve from last Saturday. Wrexham struggled to create chances despite the improvement in the second period at Stockport. I think it's a midfield problem, not just striker problem. Take that on. I'll keep saying it. The structure of the team has been really good, and the group is understanding of what is required from the game to game. Okay, the structure of the team is good. Okay, that is the key for us. We do a lot of work analyzing the opposition like they do on us. If we go over the wins we've had, the detail into the preparation, and by the way, the lads have put into practice, it's been really good. Can't argue with that. I can't argue with we are in third place or we're doing well. I just don't think we're hitting max potential. Okay? That's my argument right now. We need to look at Exeter carefully. Look at their strength, and they're obviously a tough nut to crack. But find ways where we can create opportunities like we did against Mansfield. And when we create them, we have to be ruthless. We have the ruthless edge and can take them. Yes, we have the players to do it. We need to get back to winning ways, consistency, and going and taking the games by the scruff of the neck and moving forward. Now, that was said on Instagram here. This is on BBC Sport Wales. Not a bad record to have. 3 of your next 4 League One games are at home. Parkinson insists Wrexham will not take anything for granted, he says. Where are the comments? So, home form has been good. We got to look. We got to look not to take that for granted. We got to look at what we've done well and what we need to reproduce. That it's one game at a time, and always looking forward and welcoming Exeter. So again, he's not looking back. He's looking forward. He's trying to solve these problems, trying to solve the solutions of us scoring goals and balancing out that midfield. So they're working on it. Now, granted, there was disruption this week with the snow days, so hopefully it does come to fruition. Now, I want them to. I think he'll go with his unchanged 11. I think that's what he's going to do. But I'll say this. I want to see the evolution of Parkinson with the team and use the players. Somebody said it in the chat yesterday or in the Discord. It's like, you can go out and spend all the money on the players you want, but you need to use them. We have good players. We do have good players. We have really good players. We need to go out and use them. Okay. Bruce says, who is my NFL? Who is your NFL side? Well, I am a Giants fan, but my wife and her family are Minnesota Vikings fans, so I'm kind of both in that regard. I actually saw at Stockport. It's so big. Sorry, 2 big men can be a problem for the high press. There needs to be a more horizontally mobile press to play off Palmer, like the hammer working off of Palmer's anvil. That's true. Well, that's supposed to be. I would say Mullen, right? Am I reading that right? Hold on. It's so big. As you saw at Stockport, 2 men can be a problem for the high press. True. There needs to be more of a horizontally mobile press to play off Palmer, to be the hammer working off Palmer as the anvil. So is that maybe that's a winger? Maybe that's a Barney's job or a Macca's job, something like that. Possible. Palmer and Dadbod at Stockport was like 2 anvils and the high press. Okay, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it was 2 of the same, is what you're saying. You need someone, need a big and a little. There's 2 of the same. Yeah, Bruce, against a possession-based team, playing 2 target men was incredibly strange decision. You almost gifting Stockport the ball and coming out of the fence. It was good. That's a good shout. Good work today, everyone. Good work today. Okay, last one here. Before we move on, because this has been a train wreck for me today. I apologize. Son of Premier League great joins Wrexham on trial as aiming to secure his contract. Yassine Toure, some of former Manchester City player Kolo Toure, absolute great player, is hoping to break through with Ryan Reynolds' Wrexham. There he is right there. That's Leicester City. He was previously played for Exeter City, is now in training with Wrexham. I have not seen him. Has anyone seen him play before? Has anyone seen him on the pitch out there? Let us know. The son of former Premier League star is said to be training at Wrexham as he looks to make his breakthrough in football. Kolo Toure's son, Yassine, is hoping to secure a contract with Phil Parkinson's side and previously spending time at Academy of Celtic and Leicester. I don't know how old he is. He's 18. There you go. The Daily Mail reports he's 18 years old. Plays right-sided attacker, is among and is aiming to follow his father's footsteps in making it big in football. Comes after Toure Senior picked up a Premier League medals, Arsenal, Manchester City, blah, blah, blah. Ex-defender Kolo Toure is currently coaching with City's academy after a nightmare spell as a manager at Wigan Athletic. Failed to have a nailing game. So Yassine is tellingly followed by a number of Wrexham Academy players on Instagram, as well as record signing Mo Fall. So that's a good sign. He's born in March 2006, while Toure Senior was at Arsenal, but unlike his dad, he mostly plays up front as a winger. Yassine joined Celtic's academy at age 18 after playing at Leicester City, where he signed 2 years deal. So there he is. There's Kolo Toure. Great. He's a great player, even for City. And so let's see if this goes through. He's now hoping that his son will break through in his career. The 20 year. There we go. So let's take a look at him. I see about Yassine Toure. They're looking at him. Young player, 18 years old. Do we like the makeup? Why not? I don't know anything about him. It lowers it down. So we'll keep an eye on that too. So good stuff. Okay. Never seen him play, but around many clubs on trial this summer. Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I wonder. Why can't he find a club? Why can't he find a club? John Merrill, if it was an experiment to see whether John Daddy could be a hybrid, it looked like the experiment was a success in answering the question. The answer was no. There we go. I love it. John's on. Bruce is on it today. So, Yassine Toure. Hold on, I'm going to see this real quick. Search with Google. There we go. There's Yassine Toure, right winger, Ivory Coast under 23. So he plays up front and on the right, as they said. I don't know what he's worth. Well, he doesn't have if he doesn't have a team, so he's a free. Is there a value here? No value here. So let's see what happens. Keep an eye on that. But he is 18 years old and lowering down the age range of something for the future. I'll take it. I will take it. Okay, what else so there's some pictures of the boys training in the snow. That's Rathbone, who I expect probably to get the start. There we go. Of course, we got to do that. So there's everyone training in the snow. Matty James, Maxie. Look at the snow. Yellow ball. There we go. All right. That is pretty much it for the day for the news and update. If anything breaks, we'll do that. The only thing that's going to break is it looks like me today trying to put a show up. So I apologize. Might be doing a show later on too, just on football in general. We'll see, but we'll definitely be doing the watch along on Saturday, as you all know, for the Wrexham game. If it goes through, I assume it will. And Sunday might be doing another game as well. We'll see how that goes down. So John Merrill says, last one here. Not sure if it's good or bad, but the son is a great player. You always have wonder if he's got where he's due to his name. Yeah, nepotism, they call that. Welcome to California. Welcome to the entertainment industry, for sure. A lot of nepotism out here, so I know exactly what you're saying. But anyways, smash the like on the video. Subscribe to all of the socials there too, please. Thank you very much. That Bruce is right on it. And reminder, if you haven't, there you go. Please subscribe and thank you. Yes, please subscribe. Share it out. Let's go. Only Wrexham show that goes live every single day with news and updates, and great community growing and doing our thing. So thanks everyone for coming in on that bombshell. We'll see you.